Hi guys, and welcome to JavaScript tutorial of a chess game. So that's my chessboard there, guys. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take you guys into Notepad++, and we'll put one of these together. So let's do that now, guys. So I'm going to open up my Notepad++. There we go. And we'll start by importing the following documents that I intend to use. Is going to be HTML that I intend to use. HTML, and the language is English. Then we have the header and we have the meta data. Okay, the character setting is going to be uniform transformation formats. Okay, there. So I'm going to do one thing first. Let's go to File. Up here, we need to save this, but before then, you see where we have language. Click on language and let's select H and go for the HTML. So we can now go to File and save our project as. I'm going to call that a chess game. Okay, chess game YT. That stands for YouTube. Save. All right, the next thing I'm going to do now is I'm going to get another meta in there, and this meta this time around is going to invoke the name. Yeah, I'm just going to call that name viewport. Name is going to be equals viewport. And next, let's say the contents that will include the width and so on. Right, the width, the device width that I'm using. So next is going to be the title. So let's come right down here and just say title. And that's going to be chess game. Chess game in JavaScript. And let's close off the title. There we go. Done. Now, let's create our CSS. So I'm going to start by saying style. And close that up, and I'm just going to grab that. Copy, paste it right underneath here. Close that up. Now, I'm going to define the look of my interface. So that's going to be for the body. And this very body will have the following. I said display, and that is going to be, that should be lowercase. That's going to be flex, which means you can pan around your system, drag it how you want, and so on. And I'm also going to say the flex direction that is going to be column. There we go. Now let's get it justify. We'll say justify, we're going to make that center. Justify content. And that is going to be center. There we go. Next, you need to get it aligned. Align, I'm going to make it center as well. Come right down here and just say align item. And that is going to be items. That will be center. Yeah. And the height, we'll make the height about 100. Okay, we'll make that 100 vertical. VH, vertical height. Then background color. Background color. and that is going to be, let's set it for EED. There. Imagine this time around is going to be 0. There you go. All right, so that will take care of the whole interface. Now, I need heading there. So what I'm going to do is let me create something for my head, and I'm going to say H1, enter coil braces, and this H1 is going to be, I want it to get merged. Let's see, merge, that is going to be bottom. Yeah, we'll give it about 20 pixels. Then font family, I'm going to settle for area. No, font family I'm going to set for, yeah. And okay, so the system have two choice or two options. The font type to use, area and sign. Okay, next, I'm now going to create the chessboard itself. So let's say the chessboard, and display is going to be green. Okay, make the display green. Change this to green. Next, the green template is going to be column. Okay, let's say template. That will be column dash columns. Now I'm going to make that about 8. So let's repeat. That will be 8 and by 17. Right. So that's for the column. Now we also need another one for the row. So I might as well just copy this. Right. So it should be 8, comma, this 8 here, and change this to rows. Okay. For our border, we're gonna need some border. You're gonna need a border right there. So this is fine. Let's come right down and there's a border. I'll make that 2 pixels and let it be solid. And then all will be, yeah, that will do. Right. That's that. That's that done. The next is going to be for the cells. Right there, that's for the cells. So that's the width, the heights as displayed up there. It's going to be flex and is centered. A line is going to be centered as well. That's the size of the font family, and it's going to be pointer. Cursor will be pointer. And user select none for now. Okay, so let's come right down here and just say light, and that is going to be background color, and make that page, and like that. There you go, that's my color. Done. Okay, and when is dark, I want it to be cadet blue, so let me change that. Okay, so that's this. No, that will be color blue, and change this to color blue. And selected. Once it's selected, I want it to be yellow. And change the color. The choice is yours. I presume you guys saw the color when I was selecting it. It was yellow, so it's selected, and the color will become yellow. And let's say in continents. All right. So that takes care of my CSS. So bring it down and down. Okay, now let's close the head. Close that off underneath here. And next, I'm going to create a body here. Body. And that is, let's start by first of all creating my headings. We have already defined the size of the head. Now I think I went for 1. Yeah, that's fine. So then just come right down here and say H1 that. And that is going to be chess. Yeah. Chess game in Java. Chess game in JavaScript. Close that off. There. Heading is taken care of. Now let's divide the whole system out. Okay, divide. So the ID, and the ID that I'm going to be using is going to be called Chessboard. All right, use that off. There we go. Next, the script that will make the whole thing work. You see this very script, guys? I'm going to actually add it onto the description area so that you guys can just copy that. All right, that is it. Okay, I will add this to the description area so that you can just copy this. So in there, I added R and B. Those represent each of these chess icons. Okay, right. And underneath here, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to create a constant. Then I'll just call it board, and that is going to be equals document.get element UID. What we're getting, that's going to be the chessboard. Okay, so that will recognize that. There we go. Then I'm also going to say constant. So move this up. So board buttons. That should be in an array. Yeah. Then let's declare some variables. Select cells. Selected cells. That is going to be nothing. Then selected row and column. I'll make those should be -1 each. So this should be -1. That is for row. Then here, this should be for column. And that will be -1 as well. All right, let's get spelling up column right. Yeah. Turn this off, please. Yeah. Okay. Now let's start with the function. First function. Right, this function here that I put together, that will actually generate 8 grill, which is something like, let's use it to be 8 by 8. Okay. So have a good look at it properly. And here, let me point your attention to this. Okay, that is a backtick. Okay, it's different from apostrophe. That's a backtick. Please don't make that mistake. Look at it. Backtick. This, let's say, if I delete that, that is an apostrophe. You see that? So I'm going to undo it and put it back. There we go. That's it. Backtick. It's just by the tab. Okay, don't make that mistake. All right. Next. And as you can see, it's going to loop through 0 to 7 total to give you 8 buttons horizontally and 8 buttons vertically. Okay, that's the function of that. And next is a function that will be used for event trigger. That is the function right there, guys. So have a good look at it. Take it from the top here. Okay, so triggers when a cell is clicked on. That is what this function is all about. So right here, as you guys can see, if no piece is selected, okay, if no piece is currently selected and the click cell is not empty, then that means the user is trying to select a piece to move to. Okay, that is what this part of it is all about. So let's run that up and then come right down here and I'll just call the create board, enter parentheses, and then I'm going to, I believe I ended the script. Let's see. Okay, scrap that. Mistake. Then we're also going to end the body and then end the HTML. There we go. And that is it. Okay, now let's save this and just have a look at it. Let's come right here. It's there we go. I'm going to just double click on it and see. There we go. Look at that, guys. And decision time. There. If you guys can still record the yellow. Okay. That is it, guys. That's how you create your own chess game. So let me show you guys the lines of codes again. Let's take it from the top and bring it right down here and down. And these various scripts in here, you should be able to find this on my description area. You don't need that. So just copy and paste it. There. The rest, you can just pause this video or pause the tutorial and you take it from there. So with that, guys, I'm gonna call it the end of this brilliant tutorial. I suppose you guys enjoy it. So you all have a nice day now. Bye for now. Bye.